I'm totally tracking with you. Let me answer some of the things you brought up. So, can you direct voice channel? Yes. If you want to do it, yes. If that's something you want, I'm on board with helping you get there. And I think it's closer than you can imagine, probably.
I think I'm in my own way personally. So, I mean, I don't like to talk about things that I don't want, but
Right.
I do feel as if it's my impatience, my noticing of the absence, or wanting it,
Mhm.
wanting as though it's a lack in me, And I
Yeah.
know it's not, but I think I may be doing that. I feel I may be doing
I believe you can. I know you can. Also, so one of the things I will share on that is that, and I don't mean for this at all to be a sales pitch on the course,
that.
but think about it, because I have a course out. It's 10 weeks and it's packed full of everything I have to offer to bring you from where I was to direct voice channeling and everything in between along the path of enlightenment. So if that's something you want, chew on that, because you and your wife could just share it and do that.
That's the accelerator thing that you have.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm already doing that. I think
Oh,
I
good.
I think I've already signed up for that.
Okay, wonderful. You're probably not in you're
No,
probably in week 1 or 2 or 3.
yes. I
Okay,
think
good.
week 3.
Yeah, and reach out by email if you have questions about any of that going on. So you're really close. And so I want to back up, because I want to talk about the experience you just had, and then I want to channel. So this is a common thread that I have found and have yet to find. There may be a person out there that deviates from this, but I haven't found them yet. And it's this: everybody who channels that I have encountered has had a near-death experience or something really traumatic similar to it. And these experiences do something to our brain that can literally open us up to higher dimensions. And in the book, Judah wrote this part. The question was, I'm afraid of death. Can you help me? And Judah said, yes. Know that all negative energies originate from fear, and all fears are based on a lie. If you deal with the lie, then the fear will die. And the lie is that death is the end. The truth is there is no death. Death is an illusion. The body will die, but who you are, your essence, will never die. And see, when you saw that flower of life, when you talked about those cells splitting, that was a really profound vision of who you are. You are a creator. Like you said, the sperm and the egg together, and there's constantly life being created in every moment. And you were able to access that and create life in your body for your body to heal itself. And so your thoughts are those cells. And as you think those thoughts, they split and they split and they split and they split until there's a heartbeat. And then until, interestingly enough, your heart is the first organ to form. The second organ to form is your tongue. And that's why we have to be so careful about our words, right? And I know you already know that and practice that. So Judah said there's 4 things to face down your fear of death. And see, I believe there's a reason why people begin channeling and having these really high level spiritual experiences after near-death experiences. It's because in that process, they let go of these attachments. The first one is let go of your attachment to all the roles that you played in life: father, daughter, a husband, brother, friend, businessman, whatever your roles have been, even spiritual seeker, right? In death, you let go of all those. You realize that they're passing, fleeting, that they're only a garment you put on that you take off when you die. The second attachment is to the people and relationships you've invested so much of your life's energy in your kids, your wife, whatever you've invested in. When you face death, you drop that attachment. All your material things, your geographical locations, being an American, whatever it is that's defined you, you drop all of that too. And you drop all the ideas and beliefs that you have defined yourself by. And you become a nobody again. You become those two little cells that are just two possibilities with no definition whatsoever. And that's the space where you get really reborn as something really powerful. But facing death and having near-death experience gives you that really extraordinary opportunity to let go of all those attachments. So maybe even in that, your experience is awakening something brand new for you, and you can step over into it now. I believe you can. Let's channel. Okay, I know, let's talk about when we channel, just whatever blocks you have, whatever questions you have, we'll just go for it. Because like you said, you're here. There's so many things going right for you, so many things that are beautiful, but this is your time. So we want to spend it tackling the things that are troubling you and clearing them out.
Yeah, and that's really part of it. I mean, I always think we're always co-creating, and to me, part of me struggled with, well, I should be able to do it myself because I've got higher self that's with me. Mm-hmm. I don't need other things, but I do believe we're all here to help and uplift each other. So to not ask for self, to not ask for guidance is not smart, not how it really works either.
Yeah, it's so cool because I don't know if you're familiar with the Eastern tradition of satsang.
No, I'm not.
In satsang, if in ancient Indian culture, if there was an enlightened being, people would come for days and days and days. Even still today, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people gather just to be in the presence of an enlightened being, because they understand that the power of co-creating, they understand the power of being in community, of being aligned with other people that understand the truth. They understand the synergy that's created by that. And see, a lot of us spiritual seekers have gotten really isolated and really lonely because there's fewer and fewer of us, and the vibrations, are becoming more and more distinctly different, and so we're having to really find each other and trust the universe to bring us together.
That's how I feel too, because I don't have a lot of people that they understand I'm weird, right? And they like it because everyone loves my energy or this and that and my positivity or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a lot of people to share this with that can really understands it as well or better, or but I get a lot from everybody anyways. Not that because I'm not more than anybody, but I can't share it as open because it sounds. It sounds a little out there.
Right. And it's a little harder in Georgia. I totally get that. Yeah. We walk that line all the time. My husband and my husband runs an acupuncture practice in Charlotte, and he has lots of Christians that, he's trying to build rapport with and love. And I was one of them. I was the fundamentalist Christian wife and mother, and he was able to break me out with a lot of time and patience and building rapport, break me out of the bondage I was in.
I had similar. I never went to church when I was a kid, but I had what I called my midlife crisis at 28, where I went kind of crazy when I was trying to talk to angels, mm-hmm. and I wasn't ready, and I really, at the time, I can just say I brainwashed myself. Mm-hmm. And it was, I wouldn't change it for the world, but I wouldn't, I know for, months afterwards, I checked myself into mental hospital because I thought I was going to kill myself, because I thought I disrespected God. It was the whole thing. And, but that's what I call my midlife crisis at 28. And then, I just, I ended up going to church, just trying anything that I felt good when I went to church. I didn't have that anxiety when I went to church. So I started going to church. And even out here, when I moved out, I was in California till age 30. And moved out here in 2000. And I ended up finding a church out here with my daughter. I went to the one in Gainesville, which is Jensen Franklin, which is a great speaker. But religion, I always had questions. I didn't buy even the Bible. I read the Bible myself even before I went to church, and I got my own understanding out of it. So when I would hear them say some certain things, I'm like, that just it didn't feel right. But it didn't feel wrong. I wasn't going to debate people. I just kept it to myself. Like, I didn't get it. And then eventually when I discovered Abraham's work, I really started understanding that we are our own universe. We are our own, you don't have to say God, because God has a whole lot of different meanings to different people. Right. But so I've had the same thing where I kind of just let go of the Christian stuff, and I don't debate people with it. I mean, I think if it works for them and it makes them feel okay and it's good for their life, that's where they're at. Not that it's good or bad. It's just why would you want to debate somebody if it's working for them? Let them have it. I mean, it doesn't matter. If they feel good, then I'm not here to convince or convert anybody, but anybody that understands or wants to understand more or ask questions. Because at first when I learned about this stuff, I wanted everyone to know. Nobody was asking me questions. I was annoying. I was very annoying.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. Or just like, I wanted to help people. And I do. I really want to help other people understand their own consciousness. But you can't help them if they're not asking. And it took me a while in the beginning to really understand that. And I do understand that now. But I mean, this work is something I have passion for, and I don't know how to do it. I mean, I don't know what to do with it. Other than my thing is, okay, I gotta be perfect in my life, and then I can share it with someone. And I even think that's wrong. But I still feel that pressure I put on myself, I guess.
Yeah, and me too. And so that's why sometimes I blow it really, really big these days, so that I can be reminded that by Judah and the powers that be, that I don't have to be perfect, and there's nothing I can do to disqualify myself.
Yeah, and I do understand that. Like lately, I've been struggling on, I think, with the not good enough feeling that's been in me for, I don't know. And those are things I'd love to clear, have more clarity on. I don't feel like I keep thinking about it, but obviously if it's in my head now, it's activated in me, and that's kind of, and I do keep thinking, well, I have blocks, and am I doing that to myself? I don't put it on anyone. I look from within, and even though I know this stuff, I still have your thoughts are your thoughts, and when you're trending or whatever is where you're going to resonate. That's what the frequency you're going to get back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Judah here. Let's talk about that. Okay. I see these blocks, and I'm going to ask you to move them around and build them into a staircase. Okay, let's take all the blocks and let's stack them up to make a staircase. Moving upwards. There are blocks. And then there are blocks, such as the Egyptian used many, many blocks to build the pyramids, did they not?
Yes.
Okay, so careful when you say the word block. And from now on, when you say the word blocks, I want you to imagine yourself moving blocks like a child with Legos, like a child disassembling the blocks and reassembling them, disassembling the walls and reassembling them into a staircase. Okay, and what is the first one? What is the I am statement that is blocking you? I am
not good enough.
Okay. All right. So this is what we want to tell you, how you can convert that into a building block. Understand that when you feel and say, I am not good enough, understand this is a universal subconscious belief. There is barely a person on the planet that does not hold this belief either consciously or unconsciously. Okay. There are a few enlightened beings that are not troubled by such statements in their being. So here's where this vessel differentiates from others. Okay? So there are many, of course, you know in your head that you are good enough.
Yes, I do.
You know that it's important to keep that truth out front in your life, that you are good enough, that you are worthy. You know that and understand it. And yet unconsciously underneath, there is a little Lonnie that feels not good enough. Likely because this, again, a universal truth. This is how you shift this. You begin to understand that this personal structure of the subconscious lie, I am not enough, is more than just personal. It is a part of universal human consciousness. All beings feel this, with very few exceptions. I am not enough. And all beings, with very few exceptions, also received this subconscious lie to the heart from what we will call big mama and big daddy wounds. You understand? Almost universally, these wounds are caused by mothers and fathers. Would you agree?
Yeah, I can't say I understand how mine did it. I think I don't know. My parents were always pretty supportive. Maybe they felt that way, and I got it from them. But they've never said that to me or had any type of.
Good. Okay, good. Let's talk about that. Because what you said is important. Okay. So the current day fruit in your life is that you don't feel good enough. Okay. And so the fruit, I'm not good enough, we will call it, that's the fruit, I'm not good enough. If you imagine a tree with me for a few moments, you see the fruit is there. Now, if we look down to find a root, there doesn't seem to be one. You would agree, right? There doesn't seem to be a mommy-daddy root there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you for a moment to only use common sense. If there is a fruit, is there a root?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. So if there are figs on a tree, then there is the root of a fig tree in the ground. If there are apples on the tree, there is an apple tree with roots going into the ground. We agree on that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we're not here really there's no need for us to dig under the earth and try to figure out when and who and why and how. Okay?
Yes.
Because we already know that blaming doesn't serve anybody well, right?
Right. Understand completely.
Yes. And we know you agree with that. So we're teaching you in this moment, Lonnie, something for yourself and for others. For yourself and for others, because you are the Satguru, you see. You may want to be to sit at the feet of enlightened ones, be they physical or non-physical. And there is space for you to do that as you are doing in this moment. And also, you are also the Satguru. You are also the Guru, and others may sit at your feet and learn from you. So understand that this I am not good enough is not just for you, it is universal. You see.
Yes.
Now, there are many people who go to worthy, loving, compassionate helpers, and they get down on the ground with their magnifying glass and they look at the root. They may even dig in the dirt to expose the root. They may even try to pull the tree up by the root and whatever. But is that really necessary?
No, not at all.
Right, because if you have bad fruit, you just want to pull the whole thing up and start over with what you saw, with the cell, the sperm and the egg, and the two cells splitting and splitting and splitting and creating new life. Okay, so we know there's the fruit of I am not good enough. So because it's there, we know there's a root, and we don't really care how the seed got planted of I am not good enough. We just know it happened, right?
Yes.
And we don't know who put it there or when or why or how, but it's there. And just like an apple tree, when you put a seed in the ground, you don't have apples overnight. It might be 10, 20, 30 years. Like you said, when you were 28, that's about the time that the fruit begins to appear, you see.
Yes.
This is a truth of how this human thing works. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to pull out all the roots of I am not good enough, right?
Yes, please.
And so this is what we want to tell you about what doesn't work before we pull up this root. What doesn't, well, you can climb up in the tree and snip off the leaves and pull off the bad fruit and snip the branches and prune and so on. You can do any number of things like this, but if the root is bad, any fruit that appears will still be bad, correct?
Yes.
And so this is why affirmations and such do not work necessarily. Yes, you can choose a better thought. Does that help? Certainly it helps in the moment. It gives relief. But ultimately, if the root is still there, the fruit will ultimately come back in the same manner. Would you agree?
Understand. Yes, absolutely.
And so from an energetic standpoint, the roots must be removed for the fruits to stop appearing. And this is why affirmations have their limitation, you see. Okay, so let's go in and get that root. Can you take yourself into a meditative space now?
I can.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. And open up. Good. 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 Now come on up, and we won't describe exactly what we're saying here, but you sense it. So come on up. You got that? Feel that? Come on up a little higher. Come on, up. A little higher. 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 Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Good, good, good. Higher, 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 higher. Good, good, good. You feel that freedom. Let me know when you start feeling it, feeling it. Do you feel that?
I believe so, yes.
Yes. Okay. Go in deeper, 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 deeper into that. And we're going to go up, 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 and we're going to remove this root of I am not good enough. And right now, we take authority over the very original seed, the original seed of I am not good enough. We lay our hand on the seed, I am not good enough. We grasp it between our thumb and forefinger. We grasp it, lay hold of it. Now we're pulling it up by the root. And now that lie, past, present, parallel, future, in every realm of time and space, in every reality for this soul called Lonnie, now we remove and erase every trace, every imprint, every tendril, branch, trunk, leaf, and fruit from this tree called I am not good enough. We remove it and clear it now. Yeah, take a few deep breaths, Lonnie. Yeah, just some really big, long exhales. Just take a few deep breaths and big exhales. Okay, Pleiadian sisters, let's just do some more work on this now. Ro tara re a etike a ite shinana ke a ite ako outside ina shu ashurate endu uteka a wutse which I eve ite rata akire rate netu usta I aka I ite iti no sa vaste etike a and dear one, we now erase every energetic imprint of every sort, of every experience of unworthiness, not measuring up, not meeting the standard, not arising to perfection. We say, good enough, dear. You're oh so good enough, good enough, good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. We want this to become your favorite new mantra. It's good enough. 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 Yes. Ocha chaka I taka rashne te rane kite I osa ata eshene kite ra ata asa ate eshte utakama ate uta otsa ne che taka I. Yes, you are the essence of perfection, dear one. Your soul is perfect in every way at all times, perfect for every situation. You are the container of everything that is needed, not just for your life, but for many others. You contain the beauty of perfection and bliss and all that is good. And what you bring and what you have to offer is always good enough. Always good enough. Good. Okay. How's that feel, Lonnie? What else?
Feels good.
Anything else on that?
What's that?
Any thoughts on that?
That it just feels good. I mean, I inherently I know this, but sometimes I don't feel it. I guess is what, or no, I don't know how I don't feel it. Do you know what I mean? Because I know I try to live like from the emotional base, because I know that's my frequency output. So and like we talked about it being subconscious, and I don't know that I don't know, it's weird. I'm just letting it go. Just going to let it go.
Yeah, that's right. Don't try to figure it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good enough. It's good
Yeah,
enough.
I'll share a couple of things. So one of the things that scientists are finding out as they continue studying the brain is this. So, you know, there's a lot of stigma around schizophrenia. I know that you know what that is. But what scientists are finding out now is that all of us have multiple personalities. So all of us have different parts. And they're like living parts inside of us. There's Anjie the teacher, there's Anjie the wife, Anjie the mother, Anjie the channeler, there's Anjie the little girl, Anjie the rebellious teenager. So we all have all these different parts, right? And so pain comes from these parts not being wholly integrated together as a working family unit. Does that make sense? And this is what happens. So our ego, basically, in the terms that in our culture that we refer to it, is, as we know, our fearful parts. We know that our ego is not bad. Our ego is the cocoon for the butterfly, for our fifth dimensional true, our soul, our eternal part. Our eternal part is encompassed in this life in the cocoon of our ego, so that we can undergo this transformational process. So when our ego is kicking around and we're aware of it, and I'm imagining, you know, almost all the time, you're probably keenly aware of it, understand that it's because you have a fearful part that's wanting to be loved, to be integrated into this family called Lonnie, you know. And see, your 5D part, your fifth dimensional soul part, is very strong right now. It's so strong that it's strong enough that when you have a near-death experience and everyone around you is expecting you to die, your 5D self, your soul, steps up and says, wait a minute, I'm going to create life here. I'm not going to die, I'm going to live. That's how strong your fifth dimensional part is. Okay? So where you're wrestling a little bit is you still have these other little parts, the little Lonnie, or the 28-year-old Lonnie, or the 40-year-old Lonnie that is still having some fearful moments, and you don't know what to do with them, right? Because that's not, you don't want them you don't want them driving the boat.
No.
You want 5D badass super spiritual Lonnie driving the boat. And he is a lot of the time, and he is when it really counts, like in your life or death situation. So I think your question is, what do I do with these little fearful parts? Well, what you do is you really love them and embrace them completely. Like, do you have kids, Lonnie?
I do. I have a daughter.
Okay, so imagine when your little girl was very young, if you had taken her to see a movie and you got into the movie and you realized, wow, this is way inappropriate for her and she is super scared by what she's seeing, what would you do?
I'd probably get up and go out, walk out.
Right, you'd take her out, right? Yeah, you wouldn't scold her and say, well, you should, suck it up. You should be able to. So, but see, that's what we do to our egoic parts. We get this kind of false message sometimes from certain parts of our spiritual culture that we need to annihilate the ego. It's like a bad limb that needs to be amputated, and it's not. Instead, we want to treat it like you would your little girl. You realize, oh, okay, here's a part of me that's showing up that's super scared, and there's a reason for it, and there's a part of me that feels not good enough, and I don't know when that thought was planted into my life. I don't know why, I don't know by whom or how, and I don't really care. I'm just gonna love little Lonnie right here and tell him that he's good enough. And you just keep integrating that part and loving that part. And what happens is, so see, the ego really doesn't need to be annihilated or cut off or disposed of. What it really needs is to relax.
What I keep telling myself. I feel like I'm impatient. And a lot of this stems from I've been working at a place for 20 years, which it's been a blessing. Loved it. I never felt like I really worked. But now I want to do something on my own.
Yeah.
And again, I'll be 55 years young in February 3rd. So I never thought like that before. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a little bit of the not good enough fear, and I think that's where it's really started to bubble come to the surface more, because I don't know what I don't know, and that not knowing, instead of trusting, I should trust myself. I should trust my inner self. I should trust my vortex. I know that I put this in there, but I'm not trusting it, or I don't know how I'm not. I don't know why I'm not. I think that's where that not good enough has really started to come out at this time, right?
Sure. Because when you start making a really courageous move, a bold move to do something completely different with your life,
like recreate myself, or just recreate myself.
All right. Do we want to channel about your work? Is that something important?
Yeah. That is something that is really, I think, has gotten that feeling more to the forefront, in all honesty. I mean,
okay, good. Well, I that makes total sense to me. I mean, having gone through, I know you probably heard my story. I was sick for 2 years. I thought I was going to die a couple of times. I almost didn't make it. And I'm 52, and I am having a complete change of life. Everything that I'm doing, I was a school teacher for years and so on.
mm-hmm.
I absolutely believe that that's valid. And if you want to make a change, it's absolutely possible for you. And I believe all the financial provision and everything else will come as well. And something I was working on writing in the course for last week, which you'll encounter in a few weeks, is this. What I've found is when people reach a certain level of enlightenment, their auric field, or their light emanation, or their impact on others is expanding and expanding and expanding. And so what happens is either their atmosphere has to change or they have to go. So either your workplace and your work environment is going to come up to the elevation where you are, or you'll be get a release, because there's an entanglement always. So like what you and I are doing right now is a beautiful entanglement. And then there's other entanglements, that co-creations that don't work for us, that we don't want. And so as you keep coming up in elevation, if your workplace comes up with you, great. If you have the authority, if you're given the authority by whoever the authorities are in that place to shift that and have ownership over the atmosphere, the energetic atmosphere, then that business can keep coming up with you. And if not, you have to go. And I've found people, when they get around the 800s, they usually either go to work for themselves, or they join a co-creation with a really enlightened company or persons, and very few of them stay in jobs anymore.
When you say 800, are you talking about their personal vibration? But when you say 800,
yeah. So let me share that with you. Have you ever encountered the map of consciousness?
No, I don't know. No, not that term. I've seen the vibrational, where you vibrate, where your vibrations are at, the different levels of vibration, and they've given labels to them, and obviously there's more labels that could be there, but.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you're going to get this later on in the course, and we'll go more in depth into it, but I'll show it to you for now, and I'll send it to you when we're done. Sorry, let me find the right thing. That was not what I wanted. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you, and I highly recommend diving into this man's work. He is an enlightened being for sure. He was a 30 years psychologist and psychotherapist. He had an incredible personal enlightenment experience, and he's done tons of work. Okay, so what happens is,
I've seen something similar to this. It was sitting out. It was in different ways, but yes, I'm familiar.
Right. Do you have about 5 or 10 more minutes?
Absolutely, I got as much time as you can give.
Okay, all right, so let's do this. Let's just have some fun with this. And like I said, you're going to get into this in week 7, but let's do a little bit now.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to ask Judah to tell us where you are on this scale, okay?
Okay.
Okay, yes, here we go. All right, Judah, is he above 200? Yes. 300? Yes. 350? Yes. 400? Yes. 500? 650? 650, 666, 667, 668, 670, okay, you're around 670, sweetie. That means you're probably in the top 5% of people on the planet. Okay.
I always say I resonate at love and above.
Yeah, you are at 670 right now.
Okay.
Right here. Okay.
I do feel that I do. Yeah. Perfect. Everything is always perfect. It is. I mean, that's one of the things I say. Perfect. No matter what happens.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. So okay. So I'll have to look up the specifics, but I believe that people at 600 and above are less than 5% of the people on the planet. So what that means, dear, is that your emanation, your auric field, your energetic field that you carry around you brings bliss, perfect. Everything is perfect. All is well, right? Everything's okay. You experience that in your near death. Everything's okay. There's life here. It's all going to be all right. Illumination. So see, you're heading up into the higher realms of enlightenment here. And so, like I said, it would be really unusual for you to continue, in my experience, to continue working for somebody else. Because if you're working with people down in these, most people on the earth are somewhere around in this yellow range, right? And so a lot of people aren't just going to even be able to really be around you. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, I'm not really
difficult for them.
Yeah, I don't really resonate with negative people, and even if they are, I don't pay attention to them. You know, and I don't, like I said, I don't try to correct or try to help. If nobody's asking the question, I've learned just let them be. You know, I don't judge it. I don't look at them different, less or more. You know, it's just that's where they're resonating right now, and that's where they are.
Right. So if you had to guess, okay, don't tell me yet, but I want you to just find this. Look at the chart. Don't say it out loud. Look at the chart and use your intuition and keep to yourself for now where you think your company is, the company you work for. Okay. And let's just check it. Okay. So Judah, the company you work for, that Lonnie works for. Yes, we have that. Okay. All right. 200. Yes. 250. 225, 230, 225. Okay, so what I got was that your company operates around 225. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you see the disparity there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have authority over the company, like you're a shareholder or you're a manager or you've been given, or whatever you've been given authority over, you can move the company up the scale of consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. But if the owners or the primary force around the company is here, then you can maintain your personal auric field and your vibration where you are, but you're constantly coming down to their level.
That's what it's been. It has been No, I am a manager. I do have a team
Good.
of people, and my team is a very positive thing, but it's an up and down, because it's sales, so it's motivated by fear and fear, and I don't look at it as pressure anymore, because look, if you're doing the best you can do, I'm just going to say it, that's good enough. You know, you can't. They tend to look at what you didn't do and not the 100 things that you did well. You know, well, you didn't do this, so that's because some people. That's how people manage. They manage on the lack, as opposed to uplifting them and saying, "Okay, you've done this, you've done this. Let's see how we can move this there." You know, so it's more. It is more managed on. You didn't do this, or we need to do this, and it's got to be 100% or else. And they say or else all the time, but there's nothing that happens if that or else. We're on to the next thing, on to the next. You know, because I work for a distributor of Red Bull energy drink out here, and we're selling sugar water. It's not that serious, you know.
Right.
But it is,
and that could be some of where that not good enough is coming from, because if you're in this state here of everything is perfect, then that could just be the company's imprinting. You know, it's kind of like a child that leaves sticky fingerprints on you when they've got sticky stuff on their hand. You know, it could just be like an energetic imprint.
I've been with them for 20 years, so.
Yeah, from their way of being, you know, that there's always got to be more done, you know, and that is, and you're exactly right. It is fear. You see, companies fear that if they don't crack the whip, then people will be lazy.
Right. I mean, it is. And, you know, that's one of the things I've been wanting to get away from, as that. I mean, I love the company. They've supported me. It's a wonderful family. And even when through this situation, they've been wonderful to me. So it's not like I don't like them. I want something different. You know, I want to do something. I think there's something more for me.
Okay, good. Let's go back into channeling then. Lonnie, tell me, forget that you ever worked for this company for a moment. Got that?
Yep.
Forget that it doesn't even exist. Now tell us, what do you want to do?
I would really love to do something similar to what you're doing.
Yeah, well, you can do that.
You know, I love watching people clue in, you know, just talking with people. And feeling them, you know, get a little bit more understanding of themselves. You know, I don't know, it's not my job to do that, but I don't put pressure on me to do that. But I love the journey I've taken, and I know other people are doing it, and I feel like I have something to offer those that are ready for what I know.
Yes, we agree. So you can do that. You can do that.
You know, my question, I guess, you know, again, I don't know how to start.
Okay, so you understand that at this level of consciousness, you are like a magnet for angels, spirit guides, and for the hungry. And so start paying attention to the one in front of you and give what you can right then, right there.
Right. I live very much in the now. Like now it's all there is.
Yes. And let them keep coming. Let them keep coming. Let them keep coming. So the assignment for now is this: meditate, take the course, meditate, take the course, dive in, dig in. In this course, this vessel has shared everything that led her to this moment. And so if you are looking at her as a mirror and saying, yes, I want that. I want to do that for people in my own way, with my own spin, with my own energy. But yes, I want that. If you want that, it's yours. So dive in, dig into the course, take it for everything you can squeeze out of it. Meditate a lot and imagine yourself doing it. Imagine yourself channeling. Imagine yourself giving profound answers, the just right answer in the just right moment for the just right person. Imagine it. And let it come. Let it come. let it come, let it come, let it come.
Can I ask Judah to be one of the guidance givers to me?
Most certainly. You can call our anytime.
You know, as far as angels and stuff, I think I have I believe I do. I don't know how to just call on and ask. I mean,
yes,
I would love any non-physical energy I just want to play and frolic at first, you know? I just want to have fun and, you know, and have that known conscious, coherent connection.
Yes, you say.
The way that is ways that unique, and for me, I don't care if anyone else knows, it's not about anyone else. It's really about me remembering who I really am, I guess.
Yes. And you can say, Judah, hello, Judah, I need help here. And whatever else you want to say, and it doesn't have to be complicated or dressed up. You can just talk to us as if we're in the room, because we are. You see, and you're going to keep learning that through the course, and you'll keep, it will begin to manifest more and more to you that we are ever present, and we give instant responses. Instant responses, and we are ever present.
I want you to play with me in fun and joyous ways.
Yes, let's do that. We love that idea. Let's do that. Let's play. Let's have fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's make some more of those miracles. Let's split some more of those cells. Let's keep up the creating. Yes. All you need to do is ask. We are there, right there, always with a response.
Thank you.
Yes. You're in good company.
I do. I was excited that I met Anjie, or seen Anjie. I saw you on the Kevin Moore show. And ever since then, you've registered that your message of Judah and even your story resonated with me, and obviously that's why I contacted you and Judah.
Yes, dear. Yes,
I love it. I love everything you do. I mean,
yes. You're very welcome.
I'm very appreciative.
You're very welcome here, dear, and understand that we don't get tired or sleepy or need to go on vacation. We're very much available to you. You just ask, and we are there. We are the angels, the collective. We are the lion people of Sirius A. We are the ones depicted in the Sekhmet of Egypt. We are ancient beings. We are full of power and life-giving force, energy, and wisdom. And we are most certainly here to assist. And we are known as being very loving beings. And we are most happy to work with you. We are most happy to lend our energy to you. We are most happy to watch over you and your wife and your daughter and everything that concerns you. And if you want to turn your business upside down, we will do that with you as well. And if you want to do something on your own, we are up for that too. It's all about what you want, dear. It's all about what you want. You just decide what you want and we'll back you up. How about that?
Absolutely.
So stay in that bliss and joy and keep asking for help and keep looking for those miracles. And money is easy for us. Don't think about it for a minute. Not for a minute. You just know what you want, and we will bring it to you. You can earn money, as you know. You can save money by trimming corners, but you can simply attract it as well.
That's what.
And you don't have to have any particular skill set in this area. You already have the skill set. The skill set is that you have a team, a high vibe team of workers, punching the clock for you. You see, that's all you need to know. You know how to manage people, do you not?
Yes.
Then can you manage angels?
Yes, if they allow, as they work with me, for me.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
If you can manage people, you can certainly manage angels such as ourselves, who are much more focused and cooperative and collaborative and just basically empowered and skilled all around. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I love that.
You can do that. So think about what you want and ask for what you want, and then watch for it on the horizon coming in short order.
Okay, I will. You know, it's really, I want the clarity in understanding what to move forward in. You know, the inspired action, as opposed to taking the action that I feel like I need to do something because I want to do something. I need to do something, and I'm just.
Well, there's nothing to do but meditate, dear, and take this course. That's what you do.
I got a whole month off. I don't have to go to work for a whole month, so I'm going to dive right into.
Meditation is where people get things done.
Yes, I love to meditate. That's one of the things Wayne Dyer, I got with Wayne Dyer, and I don't know, I just remember, I don't know why, it just feels good. And there was no other, and then I understood later how meditating raised my vibration. But at the time, I just knew I silenced myself the best I could, and I got better and better at it. But I meditate daily, but I will put a different focus behind it, not out of a need, out of a desire.
Yes.
Desire.
Good. Well done. Do you feel full today?
Yes, I do.
Good.
I appreciate very much everything.
You're so very welcome. What a privilege. It's a privilege and a treasure. We're so thankful to have you.